Hi, so this is my vlog, formatted interim report, where I'll be going over my experience of my marketing placement at Oakman Inns. So, firstly, an overview of my business. Oakman Inns operates within the hospitality industry and is a chain of restaurants slash pubs and hotels. It's got a wide range of Mediterranean food styled pubs, restaurants and hotels across the UK. The majority of sites are based in the home counties, but we also have sites ranging all the way from Essex, where we have the Anchor, which is one of our newest sites in Holbridge, all the way up to the Beach House Solihull, which obviously is in Solihull, and we've got the Globe in Warwick as well. The vision behind the business is very simple but very effective. It's to create the perfect environment to come and enjoy great food and drink whilst catching up with friends, family, neighbours and colleagues, and is almost kind of trying to be the new era of modern pubs. The company also follows a very simple but effective strategy, which is to provide all-day dining in affluent areas. This allows the company to maximise the profits through kind of all-day service of food and drink, and helps to target the demographics with high levels of disposable income. Because at the end of the day, those are the demographics which the company kind of want in their restaurants and pubs. Those are the people who are going to be spending that extra bit of cash and helping improve the GP. So currently in Oakman Inns, the business is growing very quickly, much quicker than they expected. There are plenty of new sites also on the way for 2018. So the target originally was to have 20 sites by 2020, and now there's predicted to be 25 sites by the end of 2019. So it's kind of really, really quick growth, but obviously this rapid growth is also triggering the need for investment, as we're kind of building so quickly that there's not enough cash in the business. So recently, the marketing team, the marketing manager especially, and I've kind of been having a look through it and proofreading it and stuff, have released an IM to try and attract some investment from potential shareholders. In addition to this, in addition to all the kind of development of the new sites, the Oakman Inns ops director has also been developing a new training principle, which is called SPEED. So this stands for sustainability, passion for pubbiness, engaged teams, excellent operations, and design in detail. So we actually won a training award. I think it's called the Queen Victoria's Training Award. Based on this kind of principle, and it's kind of something we're drilling into every new member of staff as they come in, as a basic learning technique. Social responsibility. So this has been another big key factor in the business, and actually we made the headlines the other day with the CEO who was on Sky News talking about how we kind of banished all plastic straws from our restaurants and pubs, because there was some footage released earlier on in the year of how these straws end up getting washed up into the sea and stuck in turtles' noses and stuff, and it's absolutely horrible. So we decided to get rid of all the straws from all our sites instead of just throwing them away. We actually managed to outsource a woman who actually got all these straws, painted them and everything, and put them together and made them into a sculpture, which we now have in our site, the Aikman, which is our first site that we established. All our meat we source from Aubrey Allen, which is kind of a really ethical and sustainable butchers, basically, who kind of deliver meats to all over loads of restaurants and high-end places all over the UK. So they really look after their animals. Vegware is a company we use for all of our pizza boxes. We do takeaway pizzas for our takeaway cups. It's basically a company which recycle, and all of the stuff they produce is made out of recycled materials. So again, another sustainable method. Same with our fish. All our fish is completely sustainable. And we also support a load of charities. Woodland Trust is one we work really, really closely with. Every year we're helping to plant new trees for them. And yeah, we've done a couple of filmings actually. I might stick one in here of stuff we've done with the Woodland Trust as well. We post that on our social media to try and raise awareness for them basically. Our menus as well, we put our Woodland Trust, we donated money from our Christmas menus to Woodland Trust, and we were kind of motivating people to bring their Christmas menus back to us, Christmas brochures, card brochures back to us, and we gave them 10% off their meal in January if they brought them back to us as another way of trying to make sure all of our stuff is being recycled. Sports sponsorship. So our CEO believes in sponsoring basically rugby teams in areas where we have sites. So Beaconsfield, for example, it's Beaconsfield Rugby Club that they support. Same as St Albans, and I think about 11, 12 of our sites will support different rugby clubs. And we do a great event for all of these clubs in October, which is the Oakman Cup, which I'll talk about a little bit later, as I had massive involvement in that. But it's a way of us giving back to our communities. So now I'm going to go on to my role within the company and specifically the marketing team. So my general marketing duties include the ability to carry out creative tasks as required by the marketing team. That's one of the first ones. So yeah, this is like kind of really simple marketing stuff. It includes like meetings to think of new creative concepts. So one of meetings we had recently, we're looking at launching actually our own Oakman gin. So we kind of have come together, we're meeting, kind of brainstorming and stuff like that in order to try and find a name for our gin, the flavour of our gin, and how we want to incorporate this into our marketing styles. So that's an example of that. I've also been asked to support the digital marketing manager with social media tasks. So, I mean, one thing I did earlier on in the year was a social media audit. Actually, that was about last month. So this took me about a couple of weeks. Basically, I had to produce this social media audit and present it actually in front of our ops directors, CEO and marketing team. This basically, it came from kind of our social media lacking slightly in gaining good traction, as well as kind of good reactions as well. So I mean, there's one thing gaining reach, but we needed more reactions and more interaction from our customer base. So I went into it and had a look at it and tried to pull out some common themes. So I actually used Facebook Insights as my tool. Went in through every single different site, so all 18 different sites, and kind of looked at how the same posts were doing per site, and had a look if there was any geographical effects on why some posts were doing well on some sites and some were doing well in the other. I also had a look at how organic posts versus kind of generic centralized imagery was having an effect, and how that was gaining interaction. So we actually found that the kind of photos and imagery from our photographers and stuff, that really like polished high-res imagery, was actually getting less attention because customers almost look straight over it as something they see every day. Whereas a post coming from site, from someone's iPhone, whether that be the manager or one of the employees, they can relate more to that, and it shows that it's come from that site on that day. So it kind of almost humanises the business a little bit more. In addition to this, I've also been asked to support tasks associated with new openings or business transfers. I'm going to give you a quick example, which is the Beach House Amersham, newest site to date. Had the opening party just a week ago now. I was actually 3 or 4 months ago. I was actually looking into how we can promote the business before it is actually being established, to try and get the customers in, and thinking about it before it even opens. So I actually looked into advertising spaces in the tube station nearby. Was finding out different prices for different locations and all that sort of thing, as well as holding a recruitment day. Went into Amersham on Sunday. We took a stall down there, did some kind of on-site recruiting of people, because we actually had big problems trying to get enough staff for the place, as Amersham is kind of more family based, and as soon as people kind of hit 18, they're kind of moving out there or going to university, so it's quite hard to find staff at that particular place. In addition to this, I needed to work with the creative services manager with visuals, video shoots and associated media channels. So last week I actually helped on the Spring Summer 18 food shoot, where we came up with the concept of how we were going to shoot our new menu for Spring Summer 2018. We had some new dishes in play, so kind of it's now got a new kind of focus on vegan, vegetarians, as they're the biggest market coming into the food industry at the moment, and we need to make sure we're up to date and kind of keep up with all the new trends. So we had a very natural feel about it, and used the outdoors to kind of give that image of really natural food. So yeah, anyway, I'm kind of running out of time here, so I'll try and list off a couple of the other duties that I had. I asked to support Christmas sales as requested by the marketing team and the Christmas team leader, to support key dates such as marketing, New Year's, Valentine's Day, Easter. I am also required to conduct research on behalf of teams, analyse research and create business reports, which I've done a lot of, and I'll go on about when I'm talking about my PDPs. Create presentations, and also to undertake project management as requested. As I mentioned previously, the Oakland Cup was probably one of my biggest projects I've had actually since being with the company. So now we're going to have a look at what I've learned about myself over the last 6 months, and we're going to do this through using a couple of elements from my PDPs, as well as using the skills matrices to kind of bring out where I've achieved most success. So over this last 6 months, I found myself become a much more comfortable and adaptable person, especially in the marketing workplace. I believe I've achieved this through one of my primary objectives, which was to become more comfortable in a professional meeting environment, as I believe this is an undeniably important skill needed in any modern workplace. I wanted to achieve this through adding insightful comments about how to run the Oakland Cup in a business meeting with the Allianz Stadium manager. So the Oakland Cup, quick overview, was the tournament we held for all of our rugby clubs. And in order to do this, we had to I had to go through the planning phase, execution phase, and closure stage of a project. And in that planning stage, meeting with an Allianz Stadium manager, she was one who we organised the event with, how many people we can have in there, what stalls and vendors we can bring down there and everything. And right at the beginning of the year, I was set up with a meeting with her to try and get an idea of numbers and everything, and so we could so I could take this back and write up a proper marketing plan. So although this sounds quite simple, it is a stepping stone to build confidence within a professional environment, and in the long term being able to conduct and chair meetings of my own potentially. So it also relates very, very closely to my managing business project course, as this skill plays a huge part in the executing and planning phase of any project, whether this be the Oakland Cup or the Beach Hut project, which I've had, which is one of our mobile food vendors, which I've also had to write a marketing plan for. So something else I've learned about myself this year is my ability to succeed in areas where I first doubted myself in. So, I mean, I've never been one for technology really, and with modern marketing moving rapidly to the digital world, I set myself this objective. So, broaden my knowledge and improve my ability in the use of digital marketing. Because this objective holds very strong relation to the material from my marketing comms module, and it's allowed me to broaden my knowledge in the area, as well as putting some of my studying in this area into the real world workplace, into real world practice. So this has been a primary focus of mine this month, as my digital marketing manager is actually off on annual leave for 4 weeks, I believe. I'll be taking over her duties, and recently I've been undergoing all training to try and train myself up and basically be able to take over efficiently, so people can rely on me to do the jobs that she was doing while she's away. So this has included a load of things: simple coding, website formatting, data analysis from all different social media platforms, Instagram, Snapchat, not Snapchat, Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook, in order to make some insights and see which of our tweets or which of our Facebook posts are doing well and which aren't, and also website development as a whole. I was then able to put this into practice as I took on responsibility for creating the Valentine's Day and Mother's Day web pages, which are actually on our site now. So the pages which are on our site marketing our Valentine's Day and our Mother's Day were actually pages that I made myself using a website developer, which is Squarespace. So that was a massive achievement for me. And I can also assess my improvement in this particular area through the skills matrix. I've seen great improvements in the technical skills matrix, and more specifically in the area of software and databases, which is something I literally had no idea about before coming into the real world of work. So I'm really, really happy that I've kind of become a bit more confident with that now. So finally, I've also learned to have confidence in my ability to produce professional research insights and conduct formal marketing documents. In any marketing job, I think this is going to be a skill which you just need. I mean, there's one thing doing an academic marketing document at university, and then there's another thing trying to bring this into real world and see kind of if the same techniques do really work. So I was a bit nervous about approaching my first one, which was to get our beach hut, which is our mobile food vendor again, to kind of be attending more events and how we can maximise profits and target certain demographics with it. So executing a marketing plan is something I struggled with a bit when I was taking my principles of marketing management module. So I really want to improve it, my ability in the area on this placement. When tasked with writing up a marketing plan for the beach hut in order to maximise its profits, I took it upon myself to do the job, as I thought it was something I wanted to conquer. So I did this firstly through internal analysis, using the SWOT technique, so to try and analyse our strengths, weaknesses, as well as opportunities and threats, and then continue to research our competitors as well as any other external factors, social, cultural, economic, political. And then this will help me come together to build a clear strategy and a well-defined marketing plan. After getting praise from my team and manager, I then felt much more comfortable in the area, because I presented this in front of my ops director, marketing manager, digital marketing manager, and also I believe the CEO of the company was also there on that day. And so to be able to produce a good plan and a stepping stone for where you can work from there has really filled me with confidence. So yeah, that's a general overview of my year, and I hope that's all okay.